Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? I hope we're having a good week so far. So today is Tuesday, 21st of June, 2016. And if you haven't already heard, there's been an epic amount of news that has just broken today regarding the Justice League movie. And I mean, quite a fair amount has come out. We've got the synopsis, we've got the logos, we've even got the updated Batmobile, we've got description of a scene between Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen. There's even set visits as well regarding Empire Movie Magazine and a few other outlets who have also been to London to visit the set. And we've got some interesting tidbits regarding the film as well. We know who the main villain's going to be for the movie, and just basically everything's like, I'm just trying to take everything in all at once. But the news sort of broke out a few hours back, and as I was reading it unfold, I was like, oh wow, we've got some tasty stuff going on here. First off, I want to talk about the logo, the Justice League sort of logo that they've released. There's two variations of black on white and white on black, and in the word justice, in between the I and the C, they've got a star in there, and it sort of looks very similar to, you know, the Bruce Timm animated Justice League series that we got back in early 2000s, which I miss so much, and it just reminds me of that. It has that hint to it, so it's a good old inspiration from Bruce Timm, which I like. As I say, there's two versions: black on white and white on black. It really does look pretty good. Regarding the movie itself, as you may know, because the movie is only titled Justice League, clearly it's not Justice League Part 1. If you remember a few weeks back, Jeff Johns tweeted to say that the film is effectively just called Justice League. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to get a second Justice League film in 2019. What it means is this Justice League movie that's coming out November 10, 2017 is going to be its own sort of standalone film, much in the way that Man of Steel was, and that Batman v Superman, whilst it was a sequel of Man of Steel, isn't really a direct sequel, as they've been saying. So the second Justice League movie might be called something completely different. It might still have the title Justice League in there, we don't know. It could just have something completely different. But basically, the Justice League movie coming out in 2017 is a standalone. Okay, so yeah, we'll see exactly how that goes when that film ends. We've got descriptions of costumes involving Batman, Aquaman, the Flash. There's even, it's now been confirmed that Willem Dafoe's character, that who he will be playing in Justice League, is none other than Volko, who is basically Aquaman's mentor and like his right-hand man, but has also betrayed him in some parts as well. So if you read the Jeff Johns run of Aquaman and then go on to Dan Jurgens' run of Aquaman and the others, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about regarding Volko. But yeah, so that's confirmed. That's Willem Dafoe's character. Cyborg's costume is going to be 100% CGI, I'm guessing, apart from seeing his face, obviously, because we know part of his face is still human, essentially. But his costume will be pretty much CGI all the way through. Wonder Woman's costume is going to be exactly the same. The Flash's costume, this is where it's interesting, it's described as having been cobbled together. This is like the prototype suit, his initial suit. It's going to be cobbled together from pieces of stolen tech, which I think is going to be very interesting. And Batman, well, he's got a couple of new outfits and some transport as well. He's got a vehicle by the name of the Flying Fox and a tank-like vehicle known as the Nightcrawler. That's Night with a K, by the way. And the way that's been described, it sounds like a battle tank, basically. It really does sound like a battle tank. But as I say, his Batmobile has been upgraded as well, to include new weapons and, you know, heavy artillery to take on bigger enemies, essentially, as well. So, but all of that aside, the bit that got me really interested, the bit that got me really excited, was this description of a scene taking place between Barry Allen and Bruce Wayne. Okay, this is where Barry and Bruce Wayne essentially meet for the first time. And the way that it describes it, just reading it through, and I'll post a link for all the articles that I'm borrowing from. I'll post a link. But the way that it reads through, it does have similarities to the Spider-Man scene in Captain America Civil War, where Tony Stark meets Peter Parker for the first time and they're both talking in his bedroom. It has that same sort of element. And that's interesting because there is humour in this description. And the reason for that is because Justice League is going to be of a much lighter tone than what Man of Steel and Batman v Superman were. Because both Deborah and Zach have basically said, yes, it's going to have, a lighter tone. Does it have anything to do with the fact that the reaction from the audience and the critics, wasn't good regarding Batman v Superman? Yes, in some part, to some extent, not 100% the reason being. Because if you remember what Chris Terrio said, a couple of months back, just shortly after Batman v Superman was released, or before it was released, he mentioned that the script that he wrote for Justice League is of a lighter tone. So he said that, and as I say, both Zach and his wife Deborah have also said that Justice League is definitely going to have that light tone. It's going to have a lot more humour, especially, like I say, when you read this description between Bruce and Barry, and I hope that goes on screen, because damn, that looks like a good scene. And I'm hoping also that scene, in fact, that clip is shown at San Diego Comic-Con next month. We probably won't see it online, but if they do show that clip and it does happen to leak online, oh my god, I will look forward to it. It just sounds really good. Some of it might sound a bit forced. I'm reading some comments. Some people think, the description from Ezra Miller's Barry Allen does sound a bit forced. But you know what? I don't really care. I'm looking forward to this because it just sounds like it's going to be really good. And I think this is the turning point now. Obviously, Suicide Squad in a couple of months' time, and then Wonder Woman next year. But I think Justice League is going to give us that push into the more lighter side of what DC is intending, which I think will be good. Now, the other side of it, the description, the synopsis for the film goes like this. Fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of his newfound ally Diana Prince to face an even greater enemy. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to find and recruit a team of metahumans to stand against this newly awakened threat. But despite the formation of this unprecedented League of Heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg and The Flash, it may already be too late to save the planet from an assault of catastrophic proportions. Now, it is said that the villain, they've pretty much confirmed the villain to be none other than Steppenwolf. If you remember, shortly after the film came out, they released the 2-minute clip from the film called Communion, where we found Lex Luthor in the crashed ship being shown something, and the particular thing that he was seeing were 3 mother boxes and what looked to be Steppenwolf as well. Those 3 mother boxes are significant to the Justice League film because 2 of those mother boxes are with the Amazonians, and the Atlanteans. Okay, Steppenwolf is obviously going to try and get those mother boxes back. The 3rd one is in the hands of mankind. We don't know where, we don't know who has it. I'm sure we'll find out eventually in the film. But as I say, I'm guessing Steppenwolf's going to arrive on Earth through a boom tube. I can't wait to see how that gets depicted on film. Through a boom tube and become, and look for the mother boxes. Does this mean we'll get to see Big Barda and Mr. Miracle as well? Oh, can you imagine? Ooh, Big Barda and Mr. Miracle. I'm already trying to figure out who could play those 2 right now. Give me some names of who could play Big Barda and Scott Free for Mr. Miracle and to appear on Justice League at some point. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting carried away. So, yes, So there's no mention of Henry Cavill on set or Superman as a whole. That being said, Zach and Deborah have hinted that he will be in the film in some capacity. Now, my betting is we're probably not going to see him till at least the final third of the film. We'll probably get pictures, shots of him here and there. We still don't know where his fortress is, where he's held up, based, where he's based essentially, how he gets out of the coffin and all that sort of stuff. Will he be sporting a longer hair like he did in the Return of Superman comic books back in the 90s? If he does, hilarious. That'll be a mullet and a half. But yeah, will he be sporting that? I don't know. But will we see him in like the final third of the film to basically help the Justice League? There's all these heroes coming together, taking on Steppenwolf. They're not having the best of luck taking him down, and the parademons as well, and who knows who else is going to show up. Will we get a last shot of the film being of Darkseid as well, or something on Apocalypse? All of that sort of stuff. Desard, Granny Goodness, Glorious Gordon Godfrey as well. There's just so much that can happen, and the door's open now. The door's wide open for this film and for the DC Extended Universe as a whole. But that being said, as I say, that pretty much is the plot. That's the synopsis, and we'll get Steppenwolf as the main villain. So it will be interesting to see how Superman comes into it. Okay, they've not finished filming, so don't worry about the fact that we've not heard anything from Henry Cavill or Superman altogether. That's not to say he's not in the film. He's in the film. They just can't say how he's going to be in the film. So we don't know how he's going to emerge either. So it will be interesting. But so much is happening. As a quick aside, a lot of Suicide Squad posters have been released in the last few days. So take a look. I'll post a link to the Google Plus page that I manage. You can see all the posters on there as well. Licensing Expo 2016 is going to kick off in Las Vegas at some point. I don't know when, it hasn't stated when, but they're already showing costumes from the Wonder Woman film with props as well, posters for Justice League and Wonder Woman as well. Now what is interesting is that for the poster for Justice League, it has everybody, including the Green Lantern Corps logo, but Superman's. So we've got Batman, we've got Wonder Woman, we've got the Flash, we've got Cyborg, we've got Aquaman, and we've got Green Lantern Corps and Suicide Squad, but no Superman, which is very interesting. But I would imagine that's probably because, the focus is on the rest of the Justice League. Because if it was Superman that was trying to gather the team, it would be too easy. Or a bit difficult, because everyone's going to look up to him and think, whoa, okay, right, yeah, I'm supposed to follow this guy? How can I do that? But with the fact that he sacrificed himself, and it's now made Bruce see things differently, he's opened his eyes now, he's seen things differently, he can now work better with Diana to gather the rest of the metahumans and get them together for the oncoming threat, which I think is good, because we know in the comics and also on the TV show like Justice League, for example, Justice League Unlimited, that Batman has always been a solo sort of character, and they're going to play on that with this film, with Justice League, in that he's always been a solo character. He's always worked alone, apart from when he had Robin, obviously, but he's always been in the dark, in the shadows, brooding, moody, all that sort of stuff. And here, now he's seen what Superman has done. Yes, he was angry at first because of what happened in Metropolis, but he saw what he did. He saw that he gave his life to save the world, and he's now thought to himself, well, hang on, I've basically, he kind of feels guilty for the fact that Superman's no longer around. Of course, they're not going to know that he's going to come back. It'll be a massive shock to the rest of the team when Superman suddenly reappears again. So that'll be an interesting thing to look forward to. They describe J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon, as just being like as if he's just basically just come out of the comic books. He's got the coat, he's got the fedora, he's got the tash, he's got the cloth, he's got the cigar. He's basically Commissioner Gordon. There's no picture of him released as yet, but he is described as Commissioner Gordon. So all those pictures that we've seen of him where he's working out and beefing up, I think that's just his own sort of personal fitness regime, to be perfectly honest, because it doesn't look like he's going to get any sort of physical action. He might do, we don't know. But yeah, as I say, from what they've described regarding his look, it's literally from the comic books. So that's good. What else can I add? Quickly, Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition. I know I didn't talk about this in the last video that I made, because I wanted to talk about it. I've seen the trailer for it. So many new footage. It's going to be awesome when that film gets released on DVD and Blu-ray later on. I cannot wait to see it, because there's just so much that's missing from the film, and I think this will complete the film, and hopefully for people who are going to buy it will start to feel a bit better about it, may have a different outlook. And it is said that Batman v Superman could in fact become the biggest selling Blu-ray film ever. It's on track to even beating Man of Steel. So it's doing something right. It might not have, a lot of people may not have liked it in the cinemas, but for home video, it's doing something right. So it looks like it's gonna make a shit ton of money again. So that's good. Anyway, right, quickly as well, just to delve into TV news, Arrow season 5 is gonna feature Artemis. Okay, the Archer known as Artemis is returning, and the familiar face of that character, well, I'm not going to tell you. I'll post a link down below so you can see who is coming back to play Artemis. Okay, so yeah, someone's coming back to play Artemis in season 5. Be interesting to see exactly how her story unfolds about that, so that'll be good. But anyway, I am going to leave it there. Don't want to ramble on too much, because, you know, yeah, last time it was a 34-minute video. I think this time it's roughly 20 minutes. So I'm doing okay. So it's not too bad. And also, quickly before I forget, back into the TV world, we now have the season 3 premiere title for The Flash. And if you would have guessed it, you probably would have guessed it when you watched the season 2 finale. But it is none other than Flashpoint. I'm going to leave it there. Okay. Anyway, thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure. See you all very soon. Bye.